It's me again. I put this down. Actually, yes, this is a LP U-do drum. You want to hear it? I don't know if the camera is going to be able to catch this. Like I said, LP U-do drum. Interesting little thing, but actually we're not going to be talking about this today. What we're going to be talking about today is this, the snare drum. So you decided that you're going to play drums for percussion, and you want to take lessons, and you want to do this. All right. Well, I'm not going to go into the whole history of drums and percussion. Drums actually are as old as we humans are. I was just reading out of an article here from, let me take a look. It's History of Drums from what website? Let's take a look. Pins4tripod.com, History of Drums. They're talking about 6000 BC and some markings in Peru about 3000 BC. So the history goes way far back. So if anything, I will do later on a lesson on history of this. I'm not going to waste too much time on that right now. For the snare drum, what I'm going to do right now is going to give you an overview that what this is, what the parts are. I'm not going to do a cleaning or tuning right now. We will do something like that later. Right now, just an overview of the snare drum. This particular snare drum, it is a Gretsch 4160. I believe it was done in made in the 80s. And the parts of the snare drum, it's actually pretty simple. If you take a look, you're going to see a head on this side, you see the body, what is called the shell. In this case, the shell is made out of stainless steel. Rims, you have a top, bottom rim. You have tension screws, washers, lugs. In this case, holds bolts of these tension screws, portholes, throw off for the snares, actually, which are at the bottom. And what this does is that once you loosen them up, you have this in this particular one, and all the different brands are going to be, this is going to look different. And this particular one is like this. Of course, you can adjust the tension here. Once you loosen it up, it's not going to have this snare sound. Once you bring it up, yeah, adjust the snares, place them against this bottom head, it'll give that snare sound. Now, for the purpose of this particular class, since all I have is that camera, I don't have mics or anything like that, we're going to do things in the practice pad. So let me move this out of the way. This is a practice pad. You can catch one of these online or in your favorite music store. So snare drums are going to come in different sizes, different brands to give you different sounds. Heads, I'm not going to go into that. Mostly my particular heads, the top head, I use an ambassador coated, and the reason for that is because sometimes for jazz or some of the things I like to have that rough top. That's just my preference. There's a lot of different heads, snare drum heads that you can use. It's all depending on your preference. The bottom head of the snare drum actually it tends to be a little thinner than the top head. So make sure that once you get a snare drum and you want to change your heads, that you get a bottom head, which is that particular one for the bottom head. Sticks. It's a little topic. There's a personal preference. A lot of people, some people like big broomsticks, big and heavy. Other people like light. That's another personal preference. If you are starting to play right now, any 5/8 or 7/8 will be fine. Right now, these ones are ProMarks. It's not that ProMark is sponsoring me. This is just as this happen to be ProMarks. ProMarks 707s. It's Shaughnessy or Shaughnessy, something like that. Had it for a long time. This one's, I can't even see. But any good brand 5/8 or 7/8 will do. If you're starting, try not to get into the big, huge sticks, because that actually will hinder your learning. You're trying to develop the muscles and develop the finesse. Yes, I said finesse. You're gonna need the finesse in your hands to develop those techniques. Now, and actually sticks, for example, these ones are, you know, that Sam Ash is paying me for saying this, but this is our Sam Ash. Let's see what size are these ones. Sam Ash Specials. And they're pretty bad ones. Pretty cheap. They're really inexpensive. And they sound pretty good. Actually, there were gigs that I used these sticks for, and they were excellent for it. They are wood tips, and they are very light. That for things that you have to play that you have to be really quiet, they're pretty good. Well, for practice, I like this ProMax 707 because they're, you know, perfect balance between heavy and light and what have you. Now, if you're starting, I'm not going to start doing a whole bunch of exercises and things like that. What we need to start with is how you're going to hold your stick. And there's a lot of videos out there that show you how to hold your sticks. A lot of techniques and a lot of hoopla and mysticism. I'm going to give you what I have and what I have, what have worked for me for many years, what was given to me from my instructor, from my teacher, even what have worked for me. You grab the sticks and at your pivot point about this length, and this is for both your hands. Yes, we're going to use this grip. We're not going to use the traditional. Actually, I use both, but I feel more comfortable like this grip. So this is what I'm going to teach. Not that I am discarding or saying anything bad about this. Actually, I do use it, but for the purpose of what I'm doing, I personally, my personal preference, feel better with these. So this is what I'm going to teach you. So we're going to grab our sticks. These two fingers at just about this point of the stick, which is called the pivot point. I hope that the camera can get this, because I have to put it a little far away. And for this first exercise, all I want you to do is just you grab your pivot point, wrap your fingers, your thumbs like this, and you're gonna grab the sticks. You're not gonna do any finger action or anything like that. You're going to put them at a 45-degree angle in front of you. When I bring it up like this, and this is for people that are starting to play, about this height, and this is what I want you to do. I don't want you to go fast. You don't need to go fast with this exercise. Actually, fast is going to undermine what we're trying to do here. And this is it. The height of the snare, in this case, if you're sitting any higher than where I have it right now, it's going to undermine what we're doing here. If you're standing no higher than your waistline, pretty much is what it is, no higher than your waistline. You don't want to be playing like this with a snare drum all the way down here, or too low with a snare drum all the way down here. This is going to get you tired and hurt, so it's this. So you want something like this, where you're going to be comfortable. 45-degree angle in front of you, and bring it up. And this is all that I want you to do. 5 minutes until the next lesson. This is all we have to do. Because after that, we're going to start using fingers and rotation at the pivot and things like that. But right now, I want you to just develop these muscles. In your wrist, this way. I want you to start doing like this. Fast is not going to do you any good at this point. When you bring in the sticks back, I don't want to see this. I want to see the sticks at the same place where they started. Actually, my teacher used to put his stick right there, and I had to bring my stick to his without passing that point. But of course, I don't have anybody here with me, so I have to do it this way. So slow. So a little recap of what we did today. The snare drum. Parts of the snare drum. And like I said, no cleaning or anything like that today, or tuning like that today. Your parts. Top head, which is different than the bottom head. Bottom head tends to be a little thinner. The reason for that is because the snares have rims. You have two rims. You have your tension screws, washers, lugs. Of course, you have the shell, your trough. One part that I didn't mention is at the other side, you have the butt plate. And in this particular case, the adjustment, it's an adjustment screw, is in the butt plate. In other systems, the adjustment is right here where the throw off is. yes, it can be adjusted. Like I said, the shell porthole, the snare, and what I miss. This particular model has a mute in here. Some of those I don't use it. I don't mute this particular snare. And of course, your snares. And the function of the snare, if you open the throw off, you put it down. You're not using the snare, so it's going to give you this sound. You put it back. You're going to put the snares against the head. You're going to give you that snare sound. Where do you put the snare when you're going to play to it? At your waistline. You don't want it too high. You don't want it too low. That is going to hurt you or get you tired, or create some type of technique that we don't want to. Then the next thing that we'll learn today is how we hold the sticks. Sticks, like I said, you don't want to start with sticks that are too big, heavy, and things like that, because that would most likely undermine what we're doing. 5/8, 7/8 of a good brand, Big Firth, something like that. Not like Big Firth is paying me. I don't get money from anybody. Some good brand 7/8, 5/8, that will do. Just about this distance, both hands. You're grabbing. You're gonna wrap your fingers over them. 45-degree angle. You're gonna bring your sticks at this height. And you're going to do this exercise. Slow. Bring them back. To the point they started. Okay, and with that I leave you. Do that 5 minutes, maybe 3-4 times a week, and that slowly will give you, they'll prepare your muscles in the proper way for the things that are coming next. Slowly, what I have in mind is slowly introducing you to rudiments and technique. But yes, we're going to do reading. We're going to learn theory. We're going to learn how to read music. We're going to learn how to read not only drums or percussion, but we're going to learn how to read mallets and other key instruments. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.